I feel like A24 should make a shitty movie just so they are able to balance out the quality, because everything they've made so far that I've seen has been exceptional. Eighth Grade is directed by Bo Burnham and stars Elsie Fisher as this awkward, shy little 8th grader, and she's going through the struggles of puberty and social anxiety and all that kind of stuff that you go through in middle school, and she's dealing with it, and that's what this movie's about. Her name is Kayla, and she has this YouTube channel. She doesn't have too many subscribers. She really doesn't fit in with anybody. She claims that she's not shy, but she's just kind of she doesn't really want to talk to people. And that's kind of her whole deal. She's very to herself. She's very reserved. And you see that in this movie, and you see it especially in Elsie Fisher's performance. She is fantastic in this movie. Bo Burnham writes and directs this movie, and you really feel his stamp on this with his style of comedy. If you've seen his 2 comedy specials, one was on Netflix and the other one was not. Or they're both on Netflix, but one of them was made for Netflix. You know what I mean. Both of his comedy specials are hilarious, and I highly recommend them. And he's back here making this movie, and you really feel his stamp of comedy on this. And it's kind of amazing how this adult man is able to capture what it feels like to be in middle school right now. This is what my friends and I were going through in middle school. I was sitting in the theater with my friend, and I was like, yeah, this is us. Like, this is what we used to do. This is the kind of shit that we had. And that same kind of awkward talking to boys, talking to girls, whatever you're going to talk to, you feel that in this movie, and you see that, and the looking at your shoes while you're talking to somebody, you have that in real life, and I love the way that Bo Burnham was able to capture that. There's also a heavy use of phones in this movie, like, you know, she's at the dinner table and she's not talking to her dad. That hit me hard, because it's like, that's really what it's like these days, and it's sad, but you know what, that's this generation now, and that's what's going to happen in the future, even more so. With Snapchat, Instagram, you know, texting, all the selfies and all that shit, it's gonna happen. YouTube especially too. It's just, social media is gonna take over, and that's, you're kind of seeing the effects of that, and that's what this movie kind of highlights. A lot of the supporting characters in this movie as well are really good. All of Kayla's peers in school feel very genuine. I believe Bo Burnham actually casted people that were currently in middle school when they were shooting at a school, and you really feel that, you get that vibe. And it's very real, and it feels genuine, and it feels like it's coming from a place of love, and it's fantastic. Elsie Fisher's father in this movie, I don't know his name, but he's fantastic as well. I really loved his story as well in this movie, where he's kind of dealing with what it's like to have a daughter that's pretty much kind of an outcast, a social outcast. She doesn't really have too many friends. She doesn't go out that much. She doesn't really do anything aside from sit in her room and do YouTube videos and be on her phone at dinner all the time. He just wants to get one word in. I felt that. I was like, damn, this is real. Like, and I love that. It hits hard, but it's also very important. It's socially relevant, and it's really incredible, and I think it's a great story that was told here. This movie has a similar vibe to Lady Bird, where it's a coming of age story, and you know, it's about the anxiety, the social awkwardness, where Lady Bird was about a girl applying for college in like the early 2000s. This is 2018. This is now. And she's going into high school, and it's kind of all that pressure and all that anxiety. I love that. It's so good. And I'm not saying this movie is better than Lady Bird. They're both very good in their own respectable way. But this movie really gets real, and it feels more relevant. And I loved that about 8th Grade, is that it feels relevant, and it feels like it was made now, and it doesn't feel like a 90s movie that is coming out now, or it doesn't feel like an early 2000s movie. It feels like a movie that was made for today's youth, and I love that. It's so good. I also love one thing that Bo Burnham did in this movie. The movie opens with a very unsure Kayla kind of recording a YouTube video about life tips. That's basically what her YouTube channel is. She's giving life tips, and it's very funny because you see that she doesn't follow her own advice, and I kind of related to that as well. But she's doing this video in the beginning of the movie, and you hear every like, but, and she says like, I think, 600 times in this opening scene, and but, and she really is kind of, you feel that, like, awkwardness. It's a small touch, and I don't think a lot of filmmakers would have done it, and I think that the fact that Bo Burnham did shows his attention to detail, and shows that we have to be patient and we have to listen to what they're saying, because it's very easy for us to be like, oh my god, stop, like you're killing me with this awkward video, it's so cringy. But Bo Burnham sticks with it, and it's this long take of her doing a YouTube video, until she signs off. It's just like buts and ums the whole time. And I thought that hit me really hard. I was like, wow, this is like the opening scene of this movie. A lot of people wouldn't do that, and I thought Bo Burnham, this is a really strong directorial debut. I think he's going places for sure. I think he needs to make more movies because this was fantastic, and I highly recommend 8th Grade. If you've seen it, what did you think of it? Comment down below and let me know. Is it one of your favorite movies of the year? It's certainly mine. Did you think it was genuine and real to today's digital culture? I thought it definitely was, and I think this movie should be studied. I think it should be looked at and kind of, it's a harsh mirror being held up to younger people, and I thought that was incredible. Even myself is included in that group, and I thought that was great. So let me know what you thought. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, well, not as always, but we're going to do it for this review, Gucci!